Tebey, always good to see your face.
You too, Paul.
And I just said to you a minute ago before we started recording that the next 10 or 12 minutes, you got a tough job today. You said your job's always easy. And I want to tell you why.
For the most part.
Okay. Today, here's why your job's so tough. I'm prepared to interview you about what you've got coming up in 2022, but I need you to make me feel better about how that Bills game ended last night.
Man, I'm still hurting from the Titans, but you know what? To be fair, I'm not surprised as far as Tennessee is concerned. I mean, we tend to, I had some choice words I was going to say there, but I'm just going to let that one go.
You know, I'm a long-standing, suffering Bills fan, right?
Yeah.
And my son, who's 14 years old, he's now on board with the Buffalo Bills. And I thought, what a great time to become a Bills fan. They've got a franchise quarterback. They got the pieces surrounding them. And then they lose in typically Bills fashion last night.
Well, you know, you don't got to talk to me about losing streaks. I mean, I've been a Leafs fan my whole life. And so I'm pretty much used to it. I just pray they can win a cup before I die. But no, you're definitely right. Man, I would love to see Cincinnati actually come out and win this thing. I mean, that'd be incredible. That'd be a huge fairy tale type of moment for those guys because they've sucked so bad for so long.
I hear you. Actually, I'm on board with that too at this point. Anybody but Kansas City after last night. But one final thought on this. Another buddy of mine texted me when the Bills took the lead with seconds left of the game, and he said, let's see if they can figure out a way to lose this in the same way the Leafs would. And they did.
So they gave up 5 goals in 6 minutes, or no?
Well, football's equivalent of it. Oh boy. Well, listen, you know, a couple of laughs over it has made me feel a little better. What's new with Tebey? How was your holiday? I know it's late January now, but how was the holiday for you?
It was good. We were in South Africa. I actually took my family over to Cape Town and surrounding regions in South Africa for Christmas. We were there for 5.5 weeks. So it was an incredible experience with my kids. You know, I've got a daughter who's 12 and a son who's almost 7. So for them just to go to South Africa and to see that and to be able to experience different cultures around the world, it was pretty cool.
And what a great thing to do as a parent, you know, the kids are young enough, you can do it. It's not like they've grown up and they're doing their own thing now, but to show them as much of the world as you can, that's so cool. That's awesome.
I love to travel. I've been to so many different places around the world, and I just love it so much. The world is so big, and a lot of people just don't get to experience it. So I'm trying to instill that travel bug in them early, and they had a really good time.
Good stuff. 2022 is going to be a big year for you, Tebey. You've got a new single out, and it's a part of a bigger package that's coming this fall. Let's start with the album, then we'll work our way to the single. Is it Tulum that's coming out later this year?
I think so. Yeah. I just had the idea to call the record Tulum, simply because a lot of these songs were written down there in Tulum, Mexico. I wanted to get a little bit of a different vibe on this record. You know, I typically make my records in Nashville, like most people do, but to get out of town and to go down there to write songs, it's just a little bit of a different vibe, and it kind of puts your head in a different space. And it's no surprise the first single is called What Was I Drinking, because in Mexico you can drink an entire bottle of tequila for like $6. So it's no surprise.
Well, What Was I Drinking is the song that's available on the DSPs now. It's coming to radio soon. So, you know, when I see the title What Was I Drinking, I think, okay, this song could go in a bunch of different ways. And what approach did you take?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's more country, quote unquote country, than I think a lot of people would expect from me. But if you followed my career and my songwriting, it shouldn't be much of a surprise. I love all different kinds of music, and I write music in all different genres. So to see me get a little bit more country might surprise some folks, but for me, not so much. And then as far as the song is concerned, you know, to be honest, it's not like we're reinventing the wheel here. I mean, this is a very common theme in country music. But I think people are really going to relate to this song. It just feels so good, and I hope it's going to sound good on the radio.
I'm sure it will. I'll see to it. I'll make sure it does.
Thanks, Paul.
So what else can you tell us about what's Tulum? And I'm glad you clarified the pronouncer, because not knowing Mexico's geography as well as I probably should. So we've got What Was I Drinking? Did you write the whole album down there? And what does the album say, or is there a particular message?
No, there's not really a message, and there's not really a theme of the record. The majority of the songs will have been written down in Tulum, Mexico. I've just been spending a lot of time down there recently, and I'm still at one with it in that part of Mexico. So yeah, that's what the record's going to be. You know, I think a lot of people, if they're familiar with Tulum, and you know, it's kind of become a vacation mecca in Mexico. It's very popular these days. But if they're familiar with that, they might think I'm making a beach record like Kenny Chesney, and that's not the case. I mean, there might be. I think there's one song on there called "Sink with the Sun," but other than that, it's just great music, and we happen to write the record in Tulum, Mexico.
Okay, now let's say I had the record on my laptop right now. You know, we got the single "What Was I Drinking?" You've talked about a couple of other songs, but for a Tebey fan or somebody maybe new to the party, what's the one song on the record that you want people to go find right away?
It's either one of those two. What Was I Drinking? And then "Sink with the Sun." "Sink with the Sun" is I'm so proud of that song, and I can't wait for people to hear it. Yeah, I just think all over the record that we're making. I mean, we're not done. We're getting close, but I just think it's going to be a great eclectic, group of songs. I never really try to have one theme with an album. I just want to write great songs because I like to take people on a journey. People expect different things from me sometimes, and I just want to write great songs. So that's ultimately what it's going to come down to.
You're pretty good at writing great songs. That's well established.
Depends on who you ask.
Hey, you're going to be back on the road, and I see Western Canada coming up for you in February on the Shotgun Rider Tour. Of course, COVID's had its effect on that, and so it's a bit of a condensed tour, but it's got to be great to be heading back out on the road.
Oh, it feels so good. I'm excited. It's been too long. It's been 2 years of this pandemic stuff, and I know there's a lot of country music fans. All across Canada. Sorry, am I still here? You got my camera? No, am I still here? Right. Oh, you can still see me? You still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can't see myself. That's why I was like, but yeah, no, it's going to be great to be out there touring. It's been so long since I've been able to go out and do a tour. I mean, I played Boots and Hearts this past year, but even that was a stripped back version of what the festival usually is. So it's been crazy trying to get through the scheduling and the planning of this tour. I mean, my agent and management have done an amazing job, as you can imagine, all the changing protocols and capacity limits. So we did our best to make the Ontario dates work, but we just couldn't. So I owe everybody in Ontario a good run of shows, and I promise I'm going to come back and make that happen.
And I'm going to replay this clip of the interview over and over until we actually see you back here in Ontario. I can't wait until you can make it our way.
I'm a man of my word. It's going to happen. There's nowhere I'd rather play than it's my home province, right? I'm from Peterborough, which is not too far away from you guys. Go ahead.
Well, just you mentioned Peterborough, and I know, I'd hate to let you off this interview without congratulating you on the work you do in your charity golf tournament every year that happens in the Peterborough area. And you sent me just enough information that you've got that tournament this year coming up on a different golf course. And that's all you've told me, that there's this awesome golf course that you're going to put this tournament on this year. And I'm curious whether you know which one.
I do. I'll send you a text after we get off this interview. It's the best golf course in the Peterborough Kawarthas area, like hands down, period. So I think once we announce that, people are going to be very, very excited. You know, the tournament just keeps growing every year. I mean, this will be our 5th or 6th year now, and it's so easy for me to get involved because, you know, I show up and I sing my songs and people pay money to play golf with me, and we raise so much money for the local community in my hometown, and it's just a great thing to do every year. And I couldn't be there last year. We did have the tournament, but I had to Skype in or Zoom in. But this year I should be able to make it there, and hopefully we'll have you as well. Try to get Kopnick out, see if you can come play some golf.
Yeah, I like playing beside Kopnick because he makes me look like a better golfer than I really am. So
oh yeah. That's funny.
I bring it up because here you've been in Nashville since I think you're about 16 years old, yet always looking to give back to that community in Peterborough, and I think that's terrific. It's a great golf tournament, so congrats on the work it's done over the years.
Oh, thank you so much.
So 2022, we've talked about the music that's coming up, you getting back on the road. Is there anything else we don't know about? Or secondly, I'll ask you this. if 2022 goes perfectly according to Tebey, what does it look like for you?
Hopefully a couple hit songs on the radio, followed up by another run of shows. Hopefully we're able to get through Ontario in the fall. I think that might be the plan. If not the rest of Canada, but we are heading out to Alberta and Saskatchewan in a couple of weeks on the Shotgun Rider Tour. But we definitely need some Ontario dates for that. But yeah, just getting out on the road. I'm really excited about the music. I feel like I'm getting into a groove here with the songs. And the fan base just keeps growing every year. I mean, I've been around for a minute, and it's so great that I'm still here in the game and able to continue to grow the fan base every single time I put out a record or go on tour.
Well, I'd say not even, to me, it's not still around. I would suggest the last 2 or 3 years for you have maybe been your best, and that's scary considering everything you've done.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just think I really found my own niche in the market and really honed in on who I am as an artist and not just a songwriter. You know, Denim on Denim really changed everything for me because I had taken a little bit of time off, well over a year, and Denim on Denim just literally changed the game and the trajectory of my career. And I've been able to somehow keep it going with songs that people seem to be digging. And I think What Was I Drinking is not going to be any different. I truly believe in that record, and I'm excited to have it out.
Good. Well, it is out now on the DSPs, coming to radio and Cool 100 soon. And next time we talk, I certainly hope it's with you on a stool and a guitar right over here in the studio. And
absolutely.
Funny, yeah, you talk about Denim on Denim being a song that resonated. And I watched it with my own eyes up at my in-laws' cottage. And neighbors, not necessarily traditionally country music consumers, and I'm sitting on the beach, and off of their pontoon boat, one door down, I can hear Denim on Denim pounding off the boat.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a song that cut through with people not even necessarily traditional country listeners. And I thought, hey, I know that guy.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, you know, when I sit down to write songs, you never really know what's going to connect with people. All you can do is your best and try to write something that you love. And it's been really crazy to watch Denim on Denim do what it's done. You know, it's gone platinum now, which is so hard to do, especially for Canadian country artists. So just to watch it really connect with people and to take on a life of its own has been so cool.
Well, it's funny, you know, you talk about everything you've accomplished, or at least I'm certainly happy to talk about what you've accomplished. And it says Tebey at a glance. Well, at a glance is now 3 pages of notes. So
I need to talk to someone about that. I'm sure we could Cole's notes that a little bit.
No, that is the Cole's notes. That goes to show
man.
You know, on the songwriting side, as an artist, everything you've been able to do, it's incredible. And I've been thrilled to have a great seat to watch it go down. And I can't wait for the next chapter. And it comes in the form of the new music this year. And What Was I Drinking? Congrats on it.
Thanks, man. I truly appreciate it. Paul, you're one of the good ones, man. I've told you that many times. And, yeah.
That also depends who you... Well, I appreciate your time, man. I hope to see you at the golf tournament, and I'm going to start practice putting in my rec room, getting ready for it.